Hello and welcome to Strive Defense Dialogue. I'm your host, Brigadier Rakesh Bhatia. As you can see, General Harsha Kakar. Sir, welcome to the show once again, sir.
Thank you, Rakesh. It's a pleasure being here. Always a pleasure.
Sir, you write on so many subjects, and moment I see an article written by you, I'm always tempted to request you to come and come on our channel and please tell us about the. One day I'm going to ask you, sir, where do you get so much of stamina? Where do you get so much of information that on varied subjects you keep writing articles, sir?
It's just a hobby, so I keep reading and I keep perusing, forming my own opinions, and that's what I pen down. I only hope the opinions are right and liked by people.
Absolutely, sir.
It's just a hobby, so I keep reading and I keep perusing, forming my own opinions, and that's what I pen down. I only hope the opinions are right and liked by people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for telling us this. Now, today's topic, sir. What's happening on the western front of Pakistan, sir? You have written an article that both of them are at each other's throat. Can I go a step ahead and say that a war between the two nations is imminent, sir? Sir, I'll ask you before I hand over the stage. As usual, I'll put things in context. A small little presentation from my side. 2023 terrorist attack killed nearly 1,000 Pakistanis in 2023. What happens in 2024? 245 incidents of terror in first quarter of the current year. 432 casualties, 370 injuries among civilians. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, both bordering Afghanistan, account for 92% of the fatalities and 86% of the attacks during this period. Now, these are scary figures. These are the personnel of Pak Army who got killed. In addition to this, there were also 5 Chinese engineers also who had died. So these are high-profile killings which TTP stroke BLA has carried out. This was the tragic incident of 16 December 2014, where TTP had attacked Pakistan APS school at Peshawar. Sir, I'll come back to you later. As of now, I'm just flashing this slide, sir. Like I had said, Pakistan's strategic focus shifted from its eastern frontier, that is along the Indian border, towards the countries on the west, that is Afghanistan and Iran. Sir, there is already reports of rapprochement between Afghanistan and Taliban. Taliban is also shown interest in Chabahar port. Weak Afghanistan state was in interest of Pakistan. They have always felt that there should be proxy government in Afghanistan who should do their bidding. But it seems the present Taliban government is not the one. Despite this, 2 years back, when the NATO forces had left Afghanistan, there was a lot of talk about in Pakistan where उनकी लैंग्वेज में लुडिया पाई थी. लुडिया पाई for our viewers is they had danced that our own government and our own people are in power. But what has happened after that? Last 10 years, sir, Pakistan has tried everything. They have launched military operation against TTP. They have gone for negotiations, resettlement. Former militants have been resettled, negotiated ceasefires, including the Taliban of Afghanistan. And they have also worked with Taliban Afghanistan to throw TTP out of their country. But there's been no consistency in their policy, and their hopes have always been misplaced, and expectations are too high. So now about this as a background, sir, now I'll request you to please tell us, sir, what's happening on the western front of Pakistan, sir. Over to you, sir.
Interestingly, when the Taliban government came in, Imran Khan announced that Afghanistan is broken away from the shackles of slavery. Qureshi said, I will be the spokesperson of the Taliban in the world. Faiz Hamid, as the DGISI chief, standing in a hotel in Kabul having a cup of tea and saying all will be well. It was all these. Acha. Then at the same time, I'm forgetting the name. What Sheikh is her name? I'm forgetting. The spokesperson of the PTI stating on a Pak TV channel that the Taliban have promised that they will fight alongside us to get us Kashmir.
Kashmir. That's it.
There was jubilation in Pakistan. What a joke it turned out to be. Today, the same Pakistan and the same Taliban are at loggerheads.
Yes.
Now, the TTP, if you look at the history of the TTP, it started because of the Lal Masjid attack,
Correct.
ordered by Musharraf in 2009. Over 100 Pashtuns were killed. Small tribal groups got together, and that was the starting point of the TTP. They aligned with the Taliban. They fought alongside them in Afghanistan. They come from the same region. They come from the same madrasas. They all have their same relatives in KP, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. They all have the same ideology. Naturally, they are allies. And both of them hate Pakistan for a number of reasons. The reasons are growing today. They refuse to accept the Durand line. They want to bring about Sharia law in areas which are dominated by Pashtuns. They already are doing it in a few districts which the Pakistan army doesn't have the guts to admit. Everybody knows that few districts in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are totally controlled by them. So what has happened there is, in Pakistan, the whole scenario has changed. The Taliban, they thought they controlled under their thumb and which would look out to Pakistan, has turned them down. The biggest joke was Imran Khan telling the Taliban that we will give you advisors to help you run the country.
Yes.
Today, every Taliban ministry has an advisor from Iran.
Yeah.
Not a single from Pakistan. They tried to squeeze Afghanistan by putting a block on the exports and imports via Karachi. They troubled them on the exports to India via Pakistan. Today, Afghanistan is investing in the Chabahar port alongside India. Why? It is, in fact, there are reports which, if you follow NatSec Jeff on Twitter, I've come across a report where he quotes Pakistan head of the Pak Afghan Business Council, which says that 70% of Afghanistan's exports are now going via Chabahar.
Okay.
Which implies that Afghanistan has got complete control over its region. It is tying up its relations with Iran, and it is now going to export from there. Now look at another interesting situation. Look at Pakistan's neighbors. Afghanistan's neighbors. Tajikistan, Iran, Pakistan, the main neighbors.
Correct.
Nobody is accusing Afghanistan of supporting terrorist groups. The only one who's accusing Pakistan of supporting terror groups is TTP. Now look at Pakistan's neighbors. India, Afghanistan, and Iran. All three are accusing Pakistan of supporting terrorist groups. So if you look at the scenario emerging, which is a terrorist nation? Afghanistan or Pakistan?
Absolutely.
Iran attacked Pakistan. Pakistan hit back in terms of the same thing. It didn't kill a single Irani. It only killed its own residents of Baluchistan. Right? It is regularly striking into Afghanistan. Afghanistan is striking into Pakistan with the TTP. The Baluch are attacking and they've made life hell, including killing five Chinese engineers.
Yes.
Today also they've injured five more.
Yes. Yes.
Today's incident, five more Pak soldiers have been injured somewhere near Gwadar in Tang district. Sorry, this is not in Gwadar, this is in KP.
Yes.
And it is in Tang district, and the TTP has taken responsibility. So one side you have the Baluch, which are targeting the Chinese, targeting Gwadar, targeting the Pakistan naval base there. Here you have the TTP. Now you have
And
pressure
they
Now
have
you have
tie up with each other, sir.
from the Chinese. Now there's something, which we tend to miss out.
Uh,
And I want to bring this factor inside to try and, unravel that jigsaw puzzle of Pakistan. Today we talk about Pakistan totally dependent on China. But there's something which is missing. What is missing is, let's take the Biden letter to Shehbaz.
yeah.
And what is the US interest? The removal of Imran Khan, no doubt, the US backed. Second, Asim Malik going to the US.
Recently.
Third, the control over the IMF. Fourth, the US doesn't want the Chinese in Pakistan. Because if they take over Gwadar, it's going to add to security concerns of India and the US, because the entire Gulf route comes out there.
Correct.
So what do? Then it doesn't want Pakistan to finger in Afghanistan, because the US and the Taliban have already got an agreement.
Yes.
So it is ensuring that Pakistan doesn't finger the Taliban too much. With the bargain, who's paying for it? Pakistan. And the best part is, the people of Pakistan are being made a jack. Right? Now what happened after the Chinese attack? They picked up some 10 odd people and they said, these are the guys responsible. There is nothing. You can take a guy and you can put whatever chabi you want. You can get any confession out. And the Pak army is famous for it.
Yes.
So what they've done is to try and satisfy the Chinese mindset that we've got 10 people, including a so-called leader of the TTP.
Yeah.
If you could catch them 2 days later, why couldn't you catch them 2 days earlier before the incident occurred? If you knew where they were and you were able to pick them up, including facilitators. Very interesting. Now, if you look at another link, today the Jaish-e-Dil
Yeah.
has targeted in Iran.
Yes.
There are photographs that claim that they've taken over a few Iranian posts. Where are they operating out of? Pakistan. Now, why could they do it today? Iran-Israel threat. Who wants to reduce the threat? The US. So whose bidding is Pakistan doing? Who is literally controlling the keys to Pakistan? Just take the links.
Yeah.
And the whole picture will fall into place. So with the bargain, Pakistan is adding pressure on Iran. Now Iran will strike back.
Yeah.
And imagine a country in the world where all your neighbors accuse you of hosting terrorist groups. And you claim that others are hosting it, to the extent Pakistan has gone today. A few days back, that India is funding the TTP and the Baluch through the Taliban.
Yes, that's
When
correct.
the Taliban came, it was shackles of slavery. Friend Faiz Hamid is having chai there.
Yes.
Right? India doesn't have a single consulate. It's got a small technical mission in Kabul, which is only coordinating the aid that India gives to Afghanistan. It doesn't leave Kabul. How is India managing to fund the TTP and Baluch through the Afghan government? At the same time, the Taliban are very clear, the world is aware that
Yes.
ISIS, that Khorasan part,
Khorasan.
They are based in Pak. They are being supported by the ISI to target the Taliban.
Yes.
Everybody knows. Now, the attack in Russia, if the ISIK have claimed it, it is flowing from here.
Yes.
And Pakistan is operating in conjunction with Tajikistan, which is supporting the NDF.
Yes.
Right? So the game is so massive. But ultimately, who's losing? When you start supporting terrorist groups, the snakes have come to bite.
Yes.
The same
So there
TTP.
was there was another very interesting Hellbock. I think yes, I think I have a slide, sir. I would like your comments on this because otherwise we'll lose connection, sir. He had said we may be fighting the wrong enemy in the wrong country. That means, and this is I think 2014-15 quote, sir. That means
Absolutely.
US had identified it, sir, during that time, and still US is using Pakistan to sort out his cold or remnants of Cold War, aims. Even today, from what you have said, it seems that Pakistan is still continues to be used as proxy by the US.
See, it is actually, I think you're using the wrong word. I would say everybody is making a jack of Pakistan.
Okay.
Right? Initially, what happened was when Pakistan supported the Taliban,
Sir.
there was no doubt the US was aware. No way. They've attacked damn Taliban bases in Pakistan. The US was aware. The point was the US was dependent on Pak. The only option the US had was Karachi.
Correct. Port.
It had to fly over Pakistan airspace. The reason was for them, Iran was a big enemy.
Yeah.
Had US Iran relations stabilized, then Pakistan then would have been absolutely discarded. The fact was US Iran relations never stabilized, which is what Pakistan exploited. Today, that is what Pakistan hopes to still gain. Otherwise, the Taliban is no threat to the US.
Yes.
There is no neighboring country of Taliban of Afghanistan which is saying the Taliban is supporting terrorist groups.
They
Everyone
are
was then,
confined to their own countries.
if you remember, everyone then was asking whoever was the corps commander in Srinagar that what if the Taliban fighters come here? And I mean, I remember everyone saying, who was he? Tiny Dillon, who said,
Ah,
kitne Ghazi gaye, kitne Ghazi aaye, kitne Ghazi gaye.
correct.
Right? Today, nobody is talking about it.
Yes.
Today, the only thing they are interested in is Pak. They refuse to accept the Durand line. For them, that is the only enemy.
Absolutely.
And and it's not that it's been created by someone else. It is Pakistan itself. They created them. They thought they could control them. They realized that they should have realized that every nation has its own ego,
Yeah.
has its own understanding, has its own capability.
Absolutely.
They thought they could do it. That backfired. They thought that we control the key to Afghanistan because of Karachi. That is now backfired. Now Chabahar is coming into play. And
Yes.
today, Pakistan is being twisted
Yeah.
by the US to come to its terms and conditions. On the other side, China is twisting it. You want us to continue working? Please save us. Please
Yeah.
save our people.
So
So, I mean,
isn't
it
it
is.
ironical? Isn't it ironical, sir? Earlier, if US wanted something to be done in Afghanistan, they used to approach Pakistan. And now Pakistan has approached UN and US to sort out their problem with Taliban, sir.
I mean, this is what happens when you decide to, create snakes which you think you can control, but the snakes have taught you a lesson the hard way.
Correct.
And Today, they are in a situation where the western borders have come to the level that every day you showed the casualty figures, the incidents. If they have to control, and they are launching air and artillery strikes on their own people in their own western provinces,
Yes.
which only gives you one unwritten message that these provinces where airstrikes are being launched are not under the control of the Pak army.
Yes.
These airstrikes, these places where airstrikes are being launched, are under the control of the TTP.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is why, in desperation, you're launching airstrikes. And in that scenario, it is best for them to admit that we have no control. Today,
Sir,
the country
you have come
has.
out.
Ah,
Sorry, please go
नहीं
ahead.
नहीं
Please go
नहीं
ahead, sir.
नहीं 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 नहीं,
There
बोलो
was
बोलो.
there's a little bit of delay in this thing. That's why I thought you have finished your points.
Not a problem. बोलो.
Sir, in the article that you have written today, you have alluded to CPEC, sir. Some of our experts who or guests who were there, they are of the opinion that China has spent too much of money, almost about 26 billion odd money already they have committed or they have spent. And China will do everything to ensure that CPEC is safe and it goes through, sir. Sir, please tell us your views on this. What is, because if we see both TTP and BLA are, or most of the incidents are happening, and the common thread is targeting CPECs.
See,
So
a few
please tell us, sir,
interesting
what is
things
your
on
view
that.
on this?
China began CPEC with a very different intention. The intention was not Pakistan's development or Pakistan's support. The intention was to use Gwadar for transport of its oil so that it doesn't get stuck in the Malacca Straits. Malacca Straits is a choke point. No matter how strong the Chinese Navy is, Malacca Straits is India controlled. It's too close to Andaman Nicobar, where India has got the power, the hold. So Chinese shipping can be severely impacted. It had two options. It's taken both. One was to try and use Thailand, not Thailand, sorry, Myanmar or elsewhere around the area so that they could make
Mekong
a
wala.
direct route, Mekong route. The second was Gwadar. So the program, the planning began from Gwadar to China. That is how the entire corridor has come up. Now, when you've invested the money, the country in which you've invested has to repay the loan. How can the loan be repaid unless the corridor is employed by others, wherein there is a financial earning? The money comes in and the money is repaid.
Correct.
The Chinese don't pay for using the corridor because that is their entitlement. They have got Gwadar port on lease for 40 years, provided it gets fully developed, which the US does not want. Now, it is also aware that Pakistan cannot repay back, at least not for a very long time. They are now going slow on other projects. They're looking for excuses. When their 9 engineers died, they demanded $38 million in compensation. There was no way Pakistan could pay that figure. Uska economy would have ended
Collapsed.
then and there. अब आज 5 मरे हैं. China has not yet raised its compensation figure, which will be about a reasonable figure again. Now it knows Pakistan can't repay. At the same time, when it is projecting to the world that the BRI has to go through, that please join the BRI. Today it's asking Nepal, you please clear our projects. Nepal has refused to clear.
Yes.
Sri Lanka says yes, but it doesn't clear the projects. The reason is people don't want to get into debt trap.
Correct.
But China wants to project CPEC as the face of the BRI.
Yes.
But it's going slow because it knows, after all, there is a certain share of China in every project, certain share of Pakistan. Pakistan, to put its share, is taking a loan from Chinese banks. IMF is not permitting you to do it. So you are currently in a state that you cannot pull out, you cannot invest full. The Chinese economy is shrinking. It's real estate. Even today, there are reports of the shrinking Chinese economy. So today, in the scenario that it is, it cannot pull out, it cannot go very fast forward. So what is it doing? Moving at a snail's pace. Waiting for Pakistan to put its share, which Pakistan cannot. The M1 main line and I don't know what all railway projects part of CPEC are not just taking off. The reason being, Pakistan's 30-40% share is not there.
Yes.
So CPEC is a stall. They got the excuse on the killing of 5 Chinese engineers, 3 dam projects have stalled. Now China is going to demand we will keep our security people along with yours. For any country, if the foreign security comes and gets deployed within,
The sovereignty is.
no, forget sovereignty. What is the izzat of the Pak army? Where is your izzat as a nation? You mean to say you can't manage your own security, that you need Chinese to come in? That is the state.
And Pakistan Army had created a security division, sir, for
Two
protection
divisions.
of
Two divisions.
Two divisions for this.
But you
SSB
can't do
or
anything
something.
against suicide bombers unless you have a solid intelligence network. Now
I was about to come to that, sir.
your intelligence network cannot be built if you suppress the people
Absolutely.
by force. We managed to build it in J&K. We managed to break the insurgency by winning hearts and minds.
Yes.
We changed mindsets. If you don't change mindsets, you can never win over the people.
Absolutely.
That is something we did. That is a mistake they're making. They made that in 71. They're making it today. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in Balochistan, everybody is anti the Pak army. When that is your atmosphere, how do you expect intelligence to flow?
It won't.
If intelligence doesn't flow, none of your operations will succeed. The other side will be the one which will make all the gains. And that is just what happened. You look at 71, it was thanks to the intelligence flowing to India that we were able to encircle Pak garrisons at will, because the Bangladeshis gave us the right intelligence. They were with us, not with them. Today, the Baluchis are not with them, nor are the Pashtuns. How do you expect them to succeed?
So, very rightly, sir, that means more or less you take it with today's development, with Iran further, getting, I would say, attacks from two fronts. Will Iran also expect China to do something? Problem with Afghanistan, problem with Iran, problem with Pakistan. So all three are willy-nilly involved in CPECs.
No, I don't. You see, as far as China is concerned, between Pak and Afghanistan, nothing. The Taliban government is very clear. If you expect anyone to intervene to sort out Pak-Taliban relations or Pak-Afghanistan relations, sorry. Because the Taliban are clear that these guys are the ones. You see, the worst thing today is you threw out almost 500,000 Afghanis.
Yeah. Yes.
You claim them as illegals. You've earmarked another million to go, which Afghanistan has been saying is not as per norms. It is inhuman.
Yeah.
So what you are doing is you are creating enemies.
Yes.
Taliban is become your enemy. Now, all these guys whom they threw out, if you read the reports of the people who've gone, they were not permitted to carry livestock. They were not permitted to carry anything. They were literally robbed of everything they had at the border and then thrown across to the mercy of the Taliban. Now, for them, the only safe answer is join the TTP
Yeah.
because you'll get paid. There's somebody to take care. And you know Pakistan backwards. You know the areas from where you've come. So it's going to be getting far and far more interesting in days to come.
Sir, at the cost of this thing, I am just reminded of an incident. I would like to narrate about how Afghanistan treat or a common man has what feeling he has for Pakistan and India, sir. No country, sir. I went to buy a TV. And that person there, for some reason, he told me, इसको आप पाकिस्तान नहीं ले जा सकते. So I said, no, I'm from Hind. I want to take it to India. Sir, he came, he was standing behind the counter. He came and first he says, since you are from Hind, मैं आपसे हाथ मिलाना चाहता हूँ. And he was speaking in Urdu. He said, मैं हाथ मिलाया. And then he says, you take it as a gift from my side. I said, I don't want to take it as a gift. Finally, he said, I will not take profit on this TV. My cost price is $200. You pay me $200 and take the TV away. And on one stage, he didn't want to sell me because he initially thought that I'm a Pakistani, sir, because, we look alikes. And this I'm talking about 2005-6.
No, let me tell you, in fact, even today in Afghanistan, whether it's with the Taliban government, whether it's with the common Afghan, India is respected because we've given them aid, we continue providing them aid.
Yes.
Pakistan is hated because it pushed the Taliban to create the country.
Yeah.
It is today preventing them from trading. It is not letting them get anything.
Yes.
The Taliban themselves, who should have been grateful to Pakistan, hate it because of what it's doing. I mean, you can imagine the status. Kahan pe Qureshi was considering himself the foreign minister of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And today the Taliban are, and the best part of it is, one of the reasons why Pakistan is being ignored by the Taliban is all countries, India, US, China, Russia, Iran, and a whole lot more are directly one-to-one with the Taliban without recognizing it.
Yes.
You have indirectly legitimized the Afghan government. Officially, you may not. But the fact is, you've legitimized it. And if you've legitimized it, they don't need the support of Pakistan. Today,
Absolutely.
Pakistan is crying in the UN, the Taliban is least bothered. The Taliban is not saying a word in the UN. It's not bothered. It's Pakistan that's saying, please investigate how the TTP are being funded.
Yeah.
Interesting stage.
Yeah. It had a lot of confusion. And I don't know, for whatever reasons, we feel that whatever is happening in Pakistan, of course, there is a lot to learn from us, whether it is intelligence gathering, winning the minds of, especially in the periphery area, because you have to make your periphery areas very, very strong.
See, Rakesh, I'd like to just add here when you're looking at the periphery areas. Post-independence, when we continued with with our, the traditional caste and region-based regiments, if you look, majority are from border areas.
Yes.
Gadwals, Kamaunis, Dogras, J&K, right? Ladakh Scouts. Come down this side. You got the Sikh, the Sikhalai, the Rajrif. All of them,
Yes.
majority of them are from border areas. Why?
Correct.
You did not want them to be influenced from across.
Yes.
Northeast, you take Assam Regiment, you take Assam Rifles. Now, of course, Assam Rifles is all India. But that time it was only
Yes.
from the Northeast. And the reason was, you wanted to keep these people with you, prevent them from being influenced from across. Now, that was another form of winning hearts and minds of regions from the border belt.
Correct. Employments. Yes.
Now, that is what Pakistan has never ever looked at. Its force is Punjab dominated. It thinks it can suppress people in the outlying areas. The
And
most
use these people as fodder for the cannons, fodder cannons.
now the most underdeveloped area in Pakistan is Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and its maximum resources flow from Balochistan.
Yes.
Now, if you cannot cater for this, your policies are skewed.
Yeah.
You are creating and actually building the desire to break away. ठीक है?
Absolutely. Sir, shall we go ahead with the questions now,
Please,
sir?
please.
Sir, first question is, so you can read it on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just read it aloud, sir. Ask is Israel attacks Iran consulates and today Jaish al-Adl attacks Iran again. Is US behind this to occupy Iran on its east as well as west? Your views. You have mentioned, sir. You can.
I mentioned it. Let me just clarify it. See, today's attack by Jaish al-Adl, possibly, I mean, it's something which is difficult to judge, but possibly, this has been pushed by the ISI on the request of the US. I told you, I said the US literally, Pakistan's ties with the US are far stronger than its links with China. It may be in funding deals and military support from China, but without the US, it cannot survive as a nation. And definitely now, the US wants Iran under pressure. Because today, if you look at the news, Israel has activated its maximum air defense alert. Its military people, even on leave, are prohibited from going abroad. It has doubled down on its consulates and embassies across the world, fearing Iranian strikes. So, the US wants Iran under pressure. One of the ways is this, and possibly, I feel possibly, it is behind it.
Sir, next question is from JP, sir. Ask General Kakkar, sir, पहले कौन टूटेगा पाकिस्तान से, पश्तून या बलोच? Please pick one and why. और जनरल सर, पाक को तोड़ने से मना मत करना, एक आधा टुकड़ा तो कर दो आज, please, for audiences.
See, let's be clear. I don't think Pakistan will break. It is going to have immense problems. The army is the only one that will hold the country. The world does not want it to break. You cannot have another USSR breaking into smaller nations, especially in an area like this. And for India also, it's not going to be good because these small nations, desperate to survive, can turn into anything. Pakistan has got nuclear assets spread over different provinces. The same problem came up when the USSR split. How will this be handled? So unlikely it will break, but definitely the Pashtuns and Baloch will make life so hell for Pakistan that possibly a time may come when it may say, please take freedom.
Sir, Kapil Salve has asked a very interesting question, sir. How do you think the equation of Iran and Afghanistan will work if Afghanistan choose Chabahar over Gwadar for transit route for imports, as they have sectarian issue between Iran and Afghanistan?
If you look at it, you're looking at sectarian. Shia Iraq is supporting Sunni terrorist groups throughout the Middle East. Yeah. Where is sectarian involved? It doesn't come into play. Where it is national interest, everything else is out.
Absolutely.
Afghanistan is investing in Chabahar because it does not want to be controlled by Pakistan using Karachi or using its roads for trade with India. I think a few days back, after a gap of months, did Afghan goods come to India via the road route from Pakistan? Invariably, it was being blocked. Hefty fees, robbing the stuff that's coming in. There were big losses. Chabahar is anytime better, safer, and easier. Indian aid to go to Afghanistan, the safest and the best route is via Chabahar. For us, it's a benefit, a major, major benefit, because now Chabahar, Afghanistan, and Central Asia.
Central Asia.
It opens roads for us. It opens roads for Iran. All of us want this. And what happens to
Absolutely.
Pakistan CPEC, which actually should have been the one being exploited by India in the dumps? So, with the bargain, Pakistan gets even more sidelined. Its strategic location
Yeah.
will collapse because now the Iran Afghanistan route opens up. And the north south corridor, instead of going via Armenia, would now go via Afghanistan also. So, it's a benefit to everybody.
Sir, you have mentioned about the strategic importance of Pakistan going down. Now, with Balochistan and KPK not being, I mean, almost no-go area for Pak Army and for whomsoever they want to help, do you think that geostrategic importance has already gone down?
Wait, the geostrategic importance was there when Afghanistan was an issue. Today, it's not an issue, right? And its links with the middle, with Central Asia. The US is not going to use Karachi to trade with Central Asia. It doesn't have that access. So, with the
Correct.
bargain, actually speaking, Pakistan only claims it has strategic value. It's taken a big drop.
Yeah, it is. Sir, I think a lot of questions. We'll quickly go ahead, sir. Though I have few more, but I think one of the audience has already asked it, sir. Pakistan is hard pressed to service the Chinese loan. How soon do you think will Pak provide access to Chinese military to safeguard Chinese interest in CPEC? Colonel AK Singh has asked this question, sir.
Let me tell you, sometime this week or the next week, Shehbaz is scheduled to visit China. Dates have not been fixed. He's going to get a rap on the knuckles. His request for additional loans or for rescheduling the existing loans is going to be under a lot of pressure of letting the Chinese come into Pakistan to serve alongside Pakistan. It actually gets me thinking that was this attack planned by the Chinese? I don't know.
As a face saving to get out, sir.
No, as a face saving to get Pakistan to permit Chinese inside.
Okay.
The moment you permit them inside, you have to give them a base. Now, there's a lot of confusion, but there is no way Pakistan will be able to service the Chinese loan unless it gets a layover. It is looking from IMF. IMF has made it categorically clear the money cannot go to repay your loans.
Correct.
That is end of it. Now, the only option is Pakistan may have to agree to Chinese terms in case it has to get the rescheduling of loans.
But will US permit that, sir?
Now the question is this: Will Pakistan permit it, or will Pakistan look for an alternative that we will raise one more division to take care of the Chinese? So let's see. We wait
Sir,
for Shehbaz to come back.
There's a follow-up question, sir. Jack in and out of box. No one talks about the maintenance of CPEC roads. There is going to be wear and tear. Who's going to take care of it?
See, any roads constructed, firstly, it's Chinese mal, so one doesn't know how long it lasts and how good it is. But any construction work that is done, there is a certain period of guarantee which the builder is responsible for. Beyond that, it is with the user. We're not aware of the agreement facts as to how long is CPEC going to be the Jumawari of the builder, that is the Chinese companies responsible. At some stage, it will be taken on by Pakistan. Whether Pakistan re-gives the contract to Chinese companies or do it themselves is not known. But this will come out with time. There is a contract period. Beyond that, it is the hands of Pakis.
So, next question is from Major General Sudhakar ji, sir. He's congratulated you for a very well-covered subject. What should be India's strategies?
I would say, very simple terms, wait and watch. We don't have to do anything. Pak apne पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मार रहा है, मारते रहने. We have to do nothing. The
No, we
best
we
part
should
of it is
continue the way we are doing, sir.
to worse the problem in Baluchistan and KP, the lesser are the quantum of troops or reserves that he can maintain on the Indian front. After all, that's the size of that's the size of the pie that he has, whether it's the budget or the armed force. He can either use it here or there. So as that pressure builds up, here it reduces. And now he's
Yes.
also going to decide how many terrorist groups is he going to support and maintain, and how many more enemies can he have. Does he want to keep IK running against Afghanistan? Does he want to keep Jaish-e-Adal running? Does he want to keep anti-India terrorist groups? At some stage, he's got to take a choice.
Absolutely. Just a comment, sir. Quickly, I'll read what Multani Qureshi was considering himself Foreign Minister of Pakistan and Afghanistan. It seems South Punjab has bigger comedian than North Pakistan, Punjab. So we'll let it pass after that. Saikut Ghoshal has asked, is Pakistan a buffer state role between hardcore religious regime Taliban and non-Muslim majority India and saving India from Taliban?
I wouldn't say it is going to save India. Taliban, Iran is Taliban's neighbor, Afghanistan's neighbor, and they're Shia Sunni. There's nothing happening. It is the attitude of Pakistan thinking कि Afghanistan अपना बच्चा है, बच्चा हमारी बात सुनेगा. It is that sort of attitude of Pak and thinking we've got full control on Afghanistan that has actually spoiled the scenario. They could have very nicely dealt with the TTP and Taliban right from the beginning. But they thought that the Taliban will do anything we say just because we supported them. They've gone wrong there. Nothing happening with Iran, nothing happening with Tajikistan, nothing happening anywhere else. Why is it only Pakistan?
Yeah. Sir, Pakistan, doesn't it suffer from a superiority complex somewhere, sir? He thinks everybody should do his bidding, sir. कि मैं जो सोच रहा हूँ, मैं जो expect कर रहा हूँ, his hopes are very high. He overestimates himself.
I would only say just warped thinking. That's it.
That's right. That's right.
They have to look more in the mirror because they've only spoiled their own nation.
Actually, what happens, sir? I have dealt with few Paki officers in courses and all. Somehow there is a feeling that my opinion is the only opinion that is correct. And in fact, in one of the discussions, it came out that even the int agencies are tweaking the assessment to suit their bosses because the boss doesn't like anybody saying no or going against his wish. So at times he says that decisions are being taken, wrong decisions are being taken because the agencies are giving the assessment in such a way which suits or is in the comfort zone of the senior officer who is in the decision making at that time. So I don't know how far this assessment is.
One doesn't know, but definitely there's something drastically wrong in their entire thinking. So I'd say just warped thinking. They don't know.
Kal RPS said, sir, what is role of India once we are hearing POK and Pakistan and Afghanistan at one another's throats? Is it India's soft and caring effort to Afghanistan? Will this lead to eating good non-veg sandwich?
See, India in fact, today Afghanistan is singing praises of India. Firstly, it is very simple. Your enemy's enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
That is Pak-Afghanistan stage. India was even earlier supporting Afghanistan. It currently is. I think we're the only country that is providing them with food grains, medicines, humanitarian aid of all forms. The government respects India a lot. We haven't recognized them officially, but our technical mission is there and that's doing a good job. And I think if you look at it this way, the Taliban have realized that India is a friend, India is an ally. We have to do nothing. The one thing which is very clear is they will not let anything bother us. The problem is they know that they've got our support and therefore they're making life for Pakistan difficult. So we just have to sit back and watch.
Sir, I will substantiate what you are saying. Winning hearts and mind. In fact, Afghanistan, we have invested in their medical, we have invested in their
Yeah, yeah.
education, we have created dams, we have given them the
The
parliament which is
parliament
there.
building is India maintaining.
Yes, that's what I say. The parliament
Uh,
buildings, sir. So all the right things. In fact, if you go there in Afghani and the medical tourism, you see the number of Afghanis who are being treated in Delhi and the free visa which is on offer. There are so many Afghani students who are studying here. So we
uh-huh.
have actually enabled them to stand on their own feet. The skill develop. I mean, everything we're doing. And this is the part of that winning heart and mind that you are mentioning that we have done in
Correct.
our own country. Sir,
Absolutely.
I will just flash this question, Sakat. I think this has already been answered. Will China deploy PLA at Gawadar port and Chabahar port? Both part have Chinese investment in developments.
See, okay, I'll just let me clarify it. PLA at Gwadar currently not, but definitely in case it gets developed full, which the Baluch are not going to permit, the attacks are going to continue. It's a long way to go before Gwadar port becomes a fully operational port. Chabahar, Iran will not get the Chinese in. It's a port being shared by multiple nations. So there's no way the Chinese are going to come in. Gwadar has been given on lease to China for 40 years. But for that, it has to become a full-fledged port. The Gwadar city has to be made complete. There are severe water problems. There are multiple issues that are there. And the biggest issue is the Baluch, the brass, that is the Baluch combination of terrorist groups. They don't want that to go through. Because for them, they don't want the Chinese in Balochistan. So it's not going to be easy. And every stage, all the attacks are to prevent the Balochistan, the Gwadar port from coming up, and they're going to continue at it. So we're going to see what finally comes through.
Absolutely. Okay, sir. I think I'll take this. Sakat
Yeah.
has said another question, sir. Why India and international community not recognizing Taliban government in
See,
Afghanistan if they dealing with Taliban from backdoor?
very simple. Basically, the issue is that there have to be global norms before you're recognized. The Taliban is not following the global norms, basically, in terms of education for women and a whole lot of other human rights issues. It is this which, due to which the world is not officially recognizing. But the fact, without recognizing, if you're interacting, let's put it across, it's as good as recognizing. But that's it.
Sir, I think we have covered a lot of ground. The canvas was very, very wide, sir. And we took the liberty, at least I took the liberty of, putting in little bit of own experiences, sir. Thank you very
Right?
much for,
Pleasure.
thank you very much, sir, for being on the show, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And
Thank you.
very soon, I keep reading your articles. Very soon, something is going to trigger me. I'm very soon, and we'll invite you within a week again, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and Jai Hind,
Thank
sir.
you. Jay. Bye.